In a place made of iron, there lived a young man named FEI. FEI was not only very handsome but also wealthy. He owned a very large farmland where he cultivated all types of crops. FEI was very successful and this made him very happy. However, what made him even happier was the fact that he always received streams of compliments from beautiful young ladies. In fact, they threw themselves at him while professing their undying love for him. However, FEI was in a relationship with a beautiful young lady named Adeola. She was very beautiful and she was a seamstress. She made all sorts of beautiful dresses, and nearly all the ladies in the village came to her to sew a dress. FEI and Adeola had been childhood lovers. They had started dating when they were only 16 years old. Initially, FEI had eyes only for Adeola. He loved her very much and did not hesitate to profess his love for her publicly. However, as FEI began to grow into a handsome and wealthy young man, and as ladies began to throw themselves at him, FEI started to change, and his eyes began to wander, and he began to flirt with everything. Adeola was very heartbroken. She would always cry and cry in her room. Each time she called FEI with another lady, she would pounce on that lady and beat her black and blue. Adeola was gradually changing from being the sweet, easygoing lady to becoming a tigress fighting all over the village of iron over a man, over a fae. Sometimes when she caught FEI cheating, she would end the relationship with him, saying, "I'm no longer interested. I am tired of this relationship. I know my worth." Adeola would scream at him, crying and wailing, and then leave him. But after 2 days, she would crawl back to FEI, crying and saying, "I cannot leave you for any woman. Do you know how long we have been together? 7 years. 7 freaking years. So over my head body will I leave you so that another woman would come and reap where she did not sow." Adeola would say, crying, and FEI would simply cuddle her and tell her that everything would be fine. But the truth was that FEI did not care less whether or not Adeola left him. There were too many women vying for his attention, too many fish in the river. However, FEI had a soft spot for Adeola, which was why he never ended things with her. As the months passed, Adeola continued to pursue and fight several ladies that she thought were secretly dating FEI. She had even lost many customers just because some of the ladies had slept with FEI, and she had confronted them and sometimes even beaten them. Adeola was frustrated. She wanted FEI to marry her. She had given the last. She dedicated 7 years of her life to him and could not imagine herself with another man. So each time she spoke to FEI and said, "Babe, when are you going to marry me? I love you and I know you love me too. So when will you come and see my father to ask for my hand in marriage?" And he asked, looking worried, "Marriage? Who said anything about marriage? I am not yet ready to be a husband. I'm still very young and I have my whole life ahead of me." Faye replied, frowning, "What do you mean you are not ready to be a husband? You are wealthy. In short, you're one of the richest men in the village. So what else do you need to get married? Besides, age is not on my side at all." Adeola replied, looking worried, "I see it's not only money that makes a man ready for marriage. Besides, I still want to enjoy my youth before finally settling down. And if you think that time is not your side, or if you think that you cannot wait for me, please, by all means, go ahead and marry someone else. I do not mind at all. No hard feelings." FEI said, frowning, "How can you say this to me? How can you say this to me? How do you think that I'll be able to marry someone else? You are the only one that I love. Besides, don't you remember that we took an oath when we were only 16 years that we were going to get married to each other? Adeola replied, crying, please now, stop crying. You know that I did not mean to hurt you, but I am only saying that I am not ready. If you can wait for me, oh, then no problem. But as for that oath we took almost how many years ago, trust me, that thing has no consequence. We did that as children who were ignorant. So I am sure it does not hold any water. And if the fear of the repercussion of the oath is the only reason why he wants us to get married, then my dear, do not bother yourself. That oath is meaningless. I give you my blessing to go ahead and marry anybody that you choose to marry. Faye replied very calmly, no Faye, no. It's not just about the oath. It's not just about the oath. But you know that I love you. I want us to get married. I will wait for you to be ready. I don't care how long it takes, 5, 6, 10 years. I will wait for you. Adeola replied happily, and they both laughed and hugged after that conversation. Adeola felt better. She began to feel like Faye's rightful wife. After all, Faye had asked her to wait for him to get ready. So every day, she would close her shop during the day and head over to Faye's house to carry out the duties Faye had given her. FEI had given her a spare key to his home, so Adeola would go to his house, sweep and clean the whole place, and even wash his clothes, and then go ahead to cook food for him. Adeola told herself that she was only practicing for what she would eventually do as soon as she became his wife. Then she was done with all the chores, she would go back to her shop, but sometimes she would be so tired and exhausted from all housework that she would end up not sewing any clothes that day. Her business was beginning to suffer, and as if that was not enough, at the close of work in the evening, she would go back to Faye's house. By then, she would walk and then asleep with FEI. Before going back home, her mother, Mama B, had called Adeola several times to caution her, saying that he's not a woman that chooses a man. Men are hunters. They go after the women that they love. Leave this boy. No, he doesn't not love you. There are better men like me who wants to marry you. They will literally lay down their lives for you. Why are you forcing yourself on a man who does not want you? You are even performing wifely duties for him. This boy is a community husband, sleeping with every woman. How many times did I call you? How many times did I call you? Listen to your mother. Oh, listen to your mother. What an elder sees while sitting down, a child would not see even if that child climbs the tallest oak tree. Adeola said, looking worried, Mama, I can't marry anyone else. Oh, tell me, is my husband? Besides, you all don't know him as much as I do. You are all judging him. FEI really loves me. Adeola replied, talking. Okay, oh, I have said my piece. A word is enough for the wise. Mama B replied as she walked away, but all of Mama's words fell on deaf ears as Adeola not only continued to perform her duties for FEI, but also continued to confront other ladies whom she suspected of having an affair with FEI. She also kept rejecting other suitors who were coming for her. She was patiently waiting for FEI to get ready to come and marry her. 2 years later, Adeola was still waiting for FEI to be ready. By this time, Adeola had even had 2 abortions for him, but Faye was still not ready. He was still busy floundering and jumping from one lady's bed to another. He was having the time of his life. So one day, FEI and Adeola were in his parlor chatting. Then Faye looked at Adeola and said, Do you know that my friend Becky is getting married? Adeola replied, Really? Oh wow, I was with Edu also yesterday, and she didn't even tell me that she was finally getting married and she was called herself my friend. Adeola replied, No, it's not Edo that Becky is getting married to. It's a lady from a neighboring village. Faye stared at her to see her expression, and then Adeola screamed, What? Another lady? After they've been together for almost 3 years? I know if I scatter that wedding, I will burn the whole place to the ground. And as for that girl who wants to steal my man, I will tear her into pieces. And I replied, already vibrating. Oh, calm down now. See, you are already vibrating. It's a joke. Now, I'm not getting married. So I was only pranking you. It was just a joke. I was pulling your leg. Faye said, Chill better. Because I would have been so disappointed with Bechi that he would abandon me after 3 whole years. A few weeks later, Faye informed Adeola that one of his friends in the neighboring village had lost his mother and that he was going for the burial. He also gave her the key to the house and told her to please make sure that it was clean. And he also gave her some money to cook food for him. Adeola was very happy. Once again, she felt like his wife. So all through the time that Faye had traveled, she did as Faye had instructed her. She cleaned the whole house and washed his clothes, and one day that FEI was supposed to return, she had gone to the house earlier and cooked delicious meals for him. She was so happy. She had also gone to draw her hair so that she would look very beautiful for Faye. After all, he had been gone for a whole week. However, later in the evening, when Adeola got to Faye's house, she was surprised to see a crowd gather around the house. FEI was back, but he was not alone. He was standing with a very beautiful young lady, and from her attire and the people that were there with her, she looked like a princess, as if she were from a royal family. Adeola was shocked. She was stunned to see FEI and the princess dressed in beautiful outfits as though they had just gotten married. She asked someone besides her what was happening, and the bystander told her that FEI had gotten married to Princess, the only daughter of King Abana of Elono village. Adeola was stunned. She did not know when tears began to stream down her eyes. She was motionless, a lot of emotion surging through her at the same time. A part of her mind told her to attack Princess and beat her black and blue like she had beaten other ladies. But the reasonable part of her told her to go back home instead, because she knew that she could not lay a hand on the princess or even FEI. Otherwise, her head would not remain on her neck by the end of the day. So, Adeola turned and left for her house in shame. By the time she got home, everyone had heard. Her mom and her sisters. They are simply staring at her in shock. Adeola went straight to her room. She cried and wept profusely. She felt like a fool. Here she was, cleaning and cooking for Faye, even washing his clothes, while he was busy getting married to someone else. She now remembered how he had told her a story about Bolly getting married to someone from a neighboring town, and it occurred to her that she was simply referring to himself and preparing her for what he was about to do. FEI had deceived her. He had used her for 9 years and dumped her after she had undergone 2 difficult abortions for him. She wept and wept bitterly. After a while, Adeola could not take it any longer, so she decided to go and confront Faye by herself. Luckily for her, upon arriving at FEI's house, she saw him in the compound, and then she said, "Faye, how could you do this to me after everything that I have done for you? You've been with me for 9 whole years, and this is how you want to pay me back. I feel that God will punish you," she said, crying profusely. "I'm so sorry, Adeola. I know that you have been good to me, but I am the problem. You're not the problem. I'm just too good for me. Please find a place in your heart to forgive me. Please try to move on. You're a very beautiful woman, and you are a good woman too. And I am sure that you will find a man of your own sooner than you think. Besides, if we get married, there is nothing to look forward to. There is no spark of fire in our relationship anymore. I believe it will be better off with other people than with ourselves." Faye replied, feeling sadness. "Oh, Faye, fire will kill you there. Spark will kill you there. After wasting 9 years of my time, you're telling me we will be better off with somebody else? Really? Oh, everybody warned me about you. I did not listen. I did not feel. You have ruined my life," Adeola replied, crying as she walked back home, sadly in shame. Throughout that night, Adeola could not sleep. Immediately at 12 a.m., she stood up, undressed, went outside, and started screaming, "It's me! It is me, Adeola, daughter of Mother B. I have came to ask for justice. I entered into a covenant with FEI. We promised each other never marry another person, and Faye has betrayed me and has gone to marry the princess. Oh, I want justice. I want justice." Adeola screamed at the top of her voice, crying and wailing profusely. Meanwhile, FEI was busy enjoying his wife and consummating his marriage, while Adeola was there praying, wailing, crying, and weeping. The following morning, Adeola went to shop as usual, expecting to hear bad news. FEI had been struck dead, but to her greatest disappointment, nothing of the sort happened. Instead, FEI and his new wife, the princess, were enjoying their life to the fullest. They were lovebirds and very happy in their marriage. Sometimes they would even take a stroll in front of Adeola's shop, laughing and jesting. Anytime Adeola saw FEI and his princess, felt so much pain that her chest would begin to hurt. She wished that she would die, that the ground would open up and swallow her. Meanwhile, FEI and princess continued to enjoy their life and their home, while Adeola continued to live in misery.